about like the words that came up for me for like what being a sex goddess is for me.
What is it?
And I've got the words fun, playful, evolving, expanding and contracting, loving, foot to the floor, powerful, experimental, connected, releasing and relaxing, letting go, being, not just being, but being.
Being.
Being, yeah. Breathable, equals with the air I breathe, the water I drink, the ground I stand, and the fire that warms. Every step is a step with the universe. To me, that's what being a sex goddess is about. It isn't about sex itself.
It's not about the...
Exactly. No.
So that's interesting because what we were just talking about is connecting, and then there is a lot of connection within everything you just talked about with sex goddess. And for me, death has been kind of prevalent. I have two grandfathers that aren't doing well. So the connection piece of how judgmental I've been towards myself and how I should be doing something this way, or I should be, you know, being more productive, or I need to relax more. The connection piece within
do we want to be recording?
How I'm showing up. I am.
Oh, we are. Oh, yeah. Okay. I didn't even see it.
How I'm showing up is the connection of who I'm being when I'm being. And I think when you just stated in that definition, like the connection, it is a matter of you need to be aware. It stems with awareness and connecting to experience, not doing to experience and then connect.
Yep.
And in doing that, I mean, with your realm of, I mean, you just gave a few talks, how in connecting with others and teaching them to connect, how has it made an impact in your day-to-day life or your business or your experience?
It hasn't felt like work. That's been a big thing. Like it feels like I'm just being me and I'm just kind of floating here and there, and everything is just kind of happening because I'm not forcing it to happen and I'm not forcing it not to happen. I'm just in a state of what you said, being. I'm simply being myself and allowing myself to not get in my own way. And because I'm in that state and in that mindset and that body set, I'm inviting others, even if it's purely by example or energetically, I'm inviting others to do the same.
To step into that version.
Step into it, yep.
And it's interesting in my experience, when I am being especially aware and allowing life to be an experience through connection, I notice the days seem longer.
Yes, yep. Like when we were kids.
Yeah, so the days seem longer. I'm more productive in a shorter amount of time. And I think probably because there's a lot less chatter going on. But I also feel more alive than I ever have in the realm of being and experiencing deep connection on all levels. Yeah. And I think that's something I really, really want to celebrate is I like feel really alive. Like my hair looks alive. Like I feel alive. So yeah, and I think connection, everyone just thinks I think people interpret it as one-on-one or with humans. You can feel connected to your money, your bank account. You can feel connected to your food that you eat to nourish your body. You can feel connected to those that you work with or how you are managing a project. What's coming up for you? You're thinking
I
something.
was looking up, I wanted to look up the definition of connection.
Mm.
So I am looking it up right now. All right. So, um, it says that's a state or fact of being connected, a binding or joining together, to fasten together, to tie, join together. Mm,
I feel like we connect as humans and spirits through energy,
mm-hmm.
through deep sense of love, connection, and vulnerable openness.
Absolutely. I've noticed, of course, it's a big part of being, I feel like, thinking creatures. We're very intellectual. It's learning to get out of our own way as far as analyzing and using our logic and really moving out of our brain and down into our heart and into our body. And that's when we feel most alive, is when we're in that space. And I'm not saying to disconnect
Mm-mm.
from what up here. It's you're just allowing your, like, what pulls you through life is down further into your body, your center of gravity.
Well, and it's funny that you say that because I was just having this conversation about connection earlier today, and I think sometimes everyone has an understanding and an ability to connect at a very, very deep,
Mm-hmm.
um, just charitable amount of depth. And so, like you just said, our minds sometimes get in our way, but we have to connect with ourselves before we can even allow or connect with other people. Because if I'm wanting to connect with you, unless I'm connected to who I'm being, how I'm feeling, what I'm thinking, what energy I'm emitting, it will control how we connect. A prime example of the conversation I had was about masturbation, about how masturbation for an individual I was talking to this morning, she said, yeah, I just stopped because it started to feel like a chore, it started to feel like a job. And I'm like,
So sad.
and it's great. It's a great topic because
Yeah.
masturbation or sex is one of those things where we rely sometimes on someone else to give us a feeling. And it's something everyone does. And if you don't do it, like, cool, well done. I don't know how you do it, but it's a matter of when you do something like that, who are you being, and are you forcing that you're it's a sense, it's a instant gratification of ability to connect or to feel something. And in doing so, where else in your life are you doing something or expecting someone to show up so you're able to even connect? Because it stems from the heart.
Yeah.
So
So I wanted to be clear. Are you speaking of, like, waiting on somebody else to show up to connect? Or are you speaking of, like, be proactive, be connected to yourself so that you can show up when that other person shows up?
I believe that
Or
there's no
both?
right. Yeah, there's no right or wrong. I think both angles are great, but I believe that the depth of the connection and the amount of connection and presence that one can experience and embody through their day-to-day living will only stem from the direct awareness and practice of the within the self.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm connected to myself, then when I'm in your presence, it will only allow us to connect deeper because everything's there. Everything is flourishing.
Yeah.
And I think we just, connection and presence and being is one of the hardest things in today's society with how fast we go. And like you said, our minds, they're just traps.
Yeah.
So,
There, as many, like, enlightenment, like Buddhist and even Hindu teachings will show, they talk about it as the monkey chatter. It's the monkey brain. the part that just keeps on talking, talking, and you just kind of like have to shove a banana at it and be like, just shut up for a moment and let me actually like take a step back to see what's going on without hearing all of this stuff.
Well, and it's not an easy task, right?
No,
Like it's
it's not.
definitely
It's
a
a
muscle.
continuous.
It's a practice and it's a muscle that you have to keep working at and trying to build it to become stronger and stronger and stronger.
So how do you quiet your monkey chatter? What practical things do you do?
I do meditation practice usually every morning and night. Specific, either guided or breathing. I've gotten into mantras lately that I will do when I drive or if I'm feeling anxious. But also silent mornings have been, I try to do 3 to 4 silent mornings a week. And that is when you do not have anything come in for like the first 45 minutes to an hour and a half. No TV, no music, no phone, no, you just get ready for your day in silence. There's no talking. And in doing so, what comes up in my mind is usually very, very intentional. And I need to either think about it or heal it or, connect. Usually people will come up in my thoughts. So it's like, oh, I need to reach out to that person. Clearly the universe is signaling me something. Or I'll go ground. I try to touch the earth with bare feet and bare skin at least once a day. And
That's
just
wonderful.
breathe.
That's wonderful.
Maybe journaling. I journal maybe once, twice a week, but no. Mandala coloring books are really, really good if you're a person that's like kind of an active, fidgety person. That's a great place to start.
Yeah. For me, I use music, like calming meditative music or even sutras to
Sutras, yes.
help kind of occupy the monkey chatter. Like go focus on that, and then as it's like the monkey turns and focuses on that, I'm able to connect, especially like I use a lot of different frequencies. You can look up, let me just see some of the stuff that I have here. There's so many different types of meditations that you can do. They call them miracle tones or healing for like healing. I like, um, I don't know. So I use these music, the music. It's kind of like sound baths. I don't know if you've heard of sound baths, but that's become a big thing recently. Um, and I use the music, and I've noticed for myself that by having that music, I can focus in on the vibrations and the tones and the frequencies. And while it distracts a part of me, it allows me to focus in another way because it's almost like the vibrations, they go in through my ear and it opens up my third eye.
Yep. Yeah, that's very, very common. And people usually do that with like crystals
Mm-hmm.
around as well. Yep. Yeah, I've never done it. But I know a lot of people that are really into it and they've had huge success with that as well. So that might be a great way to help that connection point, right? I mean, you have to quiet your mind in order to open your heart in order to connect. So we're just giving resources as to maybe what could help you.
Yeah, and I love guided meditations, and there's so many sleep guided meditations. Michael Seeley, Jason Stevenson, they're both great to go and listen to before bed because I feel like that's when our monkey chatter gets the loudest is before bed.
Mm-hmm.
So listening to that, putting away your devices other than listening to that guided meditation can help you in the hour before bed to really relax, get into your body, focus on your breathing.
Mm-hmm. I'm blessed to know you.
I
I am.
feel absolutely grateful that you are in my life, that you're
Anytime.
my colleague and my friend.
Yeah, I'm blessed. Do you have anything else?
Um, Not right now. I'm good.
Okay. I love you.
I love you.